Can you hear me? Would you please give me a thumbs up? I wanted to know if we had good audio with this connection, and if not, I'll do that take two that we've had to do a couple of times. So thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, Lisa can hear me. Good. Hi, can I have a couple more thumbs up to know that the audio is going through okay for most of you? Okay, Stephen, don't worry about it. I got it. You can hear me or you wouldn't be asking what a thumbs up is. I saw you in the meditation last night too, Stephen. Good to have you here. And I want to get with you and see if you were doing corollary reads and how we uh, did on that. We're still 1 minute before the start time. People are coming in. We already have enough people here to change the universe. But that's not our purpose today directly. Our purpose today is to welcome some changes in ourselves and honor them. So I'll get into that as we do the meditation. Okay, and then to answer Stephen's questions and other people, there's a little box that says chat, and that's where you type. There's also a little black and white happy face. If you click on that, one of the options should be a thumbs up. So when I ask for a thumbs up, that's what I'm looking for, and it's buried in there. You've got to go ways down there below the faces and hearts and stuff to find it. But you could also just type 5 by 5. I'll know what that is. I served. Okay, I've got enough thumbs up there that I know that the audio is going through okay today. Welcome everyone to our March 2024 meditation. It's a group meditation we do on usually the third Sunday of every month. And it may vary a little bit from how you picture meditations because there's not a yoga position that's expected of you. While I'll try to use a soothing voice for what I do, a lot of what we are looking towards, building towards in the middle of our meditation, focused thought, because that's what meditation is. And so you can close your eyes and listen to me. There's really nothing visual you have to do during this. You can watch me if you want to. You can doodle on a pad if that helps you concentrate. You know, sometimes when I was in school, doodling helped me listen to the lecture. Whatever helps you to focus, please plan on doing that, and we will absolutely honor it. Our meditations are non-denominational, but many of our members come to these meditations with a personal faith path, including myself. We don't push that on you, but we ask that you just respect that within the parameters of a non-denominational offering. Some of us come at it with a faith practice too, and I welcome any faith practice that's peaceful. Absolutely. So again, we're non-denominational. If you have no spiritual or faith leanings, that's fine too. If you're just scientifically detached, that's fine. You're welcome to just listen as we go through, maybe make notes on things you like or don't like and want to do in your own practice or meditation you might have in the future. That's fine too. Any kind of energy is welcome here as long as it is positive or neutral. If you're deliberately contributing negative energy, I have to inform you so that we have your implied consent that your negative energy is going to be gathered up and sent to our loving creator, the creator of all creators, source. I'm not going to quibble about names, okay? And for the purpose will be for transmutation and purification of that energy. So really, in a way, you can show up here with any kind of energy or intent, but the negative energy and intent is going to be accepted and shifted straight to source. So it really won't affect what we do. Now, if you have that negative attitude and deep down you are looking for a way out or a way to change, this might be the start of it, because that energy will never be available on this plane of existence in a negative form again. Yeah, our creator's that powerful. He's way more than that. And I use he just out of habit, okay? So don't, again, we're not going to quibble about little nuances of language unless it's ones that we know have power to them that we'd like to be more mindful of. And I've spoken on that in some previous videos. So sometimes people have talked about how it can be dangerous to have a group meditation, that the energy can be hijacked. So you're going to notice as we start here, and we are starting, that we're going to spend some time protecting our energy, both what we offer and what we have within us, so that there's never any hijacking allowed. There's no implied or explicit consent at all. So that's why it takes a few minutes to get set up here and started. And then, like I said, we have a focused thought, and we're going to visualize how that would look, sound, what have you. And then towards the end, time permitting, I will be looking here in the chat box and seeing other positive intentions people would like to have energy provided for. Feel free. If you have a positive intention, even if they're very personal, for your pet, your spouse, your child, you're welcome to put those in the chat box. And as people read them and agree with them, they're going to join their energy, whether they do it in the form of intention or prayer or just positive visualization. If they agree with and want to, they will participate. Again, we honor free will of everybody that is not only participating, but of those whom we are offering our energy to. This is a free will universe, and the more we honor that free will, the more what we do is powerful. So let's get into some specific discussion of the protections we want. Okay. Now, I'm looking for protections from my loving creator. You can look for them from whatever source you align with. Okay. Even if it's just your higher self, your gut determination, your grit, whatever it is, whatever it is. But here's some of the protections that I expect us to have during this and beyond this meditation. That those who join in this meditation with good intent be protected from evil in any form, before, during the meditation, and beyond. That any positive intention stated in our meditation or in the comments afterwards be sent to be not be used. Pardon me, I got a little tongue tied there. That any intent that is offered and energy offered in this meditation, it may never be used, converted, or transmuted for other purposes ever. So our intent is in perpetuity, eternal. And it can't be hijacked, it can't be transmuted, and can't be used. And that way you can, with good conscience, participate in this and offer some of your energy for it. Now, again, just a reminder, any negative energy that's directed at those who are meditating or the content of our meditation is going to be immediately sent to source for purification and transmutation and form again. Okay, and to that end, right now, I'm not feeling a lot of negativity, but let's take a second to visualize that. Now, I've shared in the past that how I visualize that, because I don't want to give evil any kind of weight. So I think of a dandelion and I blow the fluff off it, and it goes into a sparkling white expanse. And it sparkles the closer it gets. It goes from being kind of dark and dingy to sparkling and then disappears. Okay, so however you visualize it, let's do that. Because if we join together in focused thought, it's very powerful. So any negativity that is being directed at us or is present in this meditation, in whatever form, we're going to, on the count of 3, visualize it going to source for purification. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. And I close my eyes to visualize. There's my dandelion. If you're really tuned into the energy, you may feel some tingling. I did, as I did that. It's kind of a cool feeling. I get the tingles a lot during these sessions. I just love it. Okay, now here's some of our intentions, so you can see if you align with them and agree with them. Okay, we're going to combine our energy in focused thought, in love and light, and share our positive intentions in meditative focus, as much as our free will allows and aligns. So there may be something mentioned during this meditation that you don't want to put energy to, and that is absolutely fine. It doesn't mean you need to turn it off, just sit it out. We'll go on to other topics soon, especially when we get into the personal requests. There may be one that you just think, oh, I need to think about that before I put energy to it. That's absolutely perfect. Don't worry about it. Okay, now our focus this month is on healthy boundaries. It's a learned skill for many of us. It seems like some people are born with it, but most of us have to learn how to honor and employ healthy boundaries for our thoughts, for our energy, for our time, for our contributions. So we're going to be discussing that in a little more detail. And again, the focused thought is going to be a visualization process. Okay, now we further intend that the energy of love and light that we give in this meditation be bestowed in equal measure on those of us who give it. So we feel that love of source, of creator, of wherever our faith is grounded in, and know that our meditation will have a positive effect on this world. This plane of existence is affected when 20 people join together, and we always have way over 20. So we can make a difference. Now, I have a further intention, is that all of us that freely choose to, we learn to be a conduit of energy from the loving source that we honor and our faith practice is aligned with, so that you're not drained at the end of these meditation sessions, that you actually feel energized. And the more you become a conduit, the more you can offer love and light to all sorts of people and situations without getting depleted. Doesn't mean you won't still come upon some people in your life that kind of deplete your energy, but it means that you'll have in your toolbox more often and a bigger, deeper availability of love and light that you can offer, because you're a conduit. You're not just giving your own personal sources. You're not pouring out your thermos. You're tapping into a limitless ocean. Okay, now I would also like that everybody who is participating in this, that your cup of energy be refilled to overflowing if you do end up using some of your energy, so that you leave here feeling like you contributed positive energy, you had a successful effort at focused thought within a group setting, and you just know that that focused thought is part of that manifestation process that is going to make a difference. Now, let's make sure we're physically ready for that focused thought. See, I just sat up a little straighter. Okay, now I'm making sure that my back is as straight as I can comfortably and handle, which is fairly straight. I'm not old lady dowager hump at this point. If you do have trouble getting straight, just get as straight as you can. If our loving creator can make everything around us, that energy can work with a curvature. So there's no reason you won't be filled and aligned and your chakras won't be contributing and open. There's absolutely none, because possibilities for good things are endless, including absorbing and accepting and giving love and light and energy. So now let's do a quick stress test. And one of the easy ones with your body is, where are your shoulders? There's nothing in this process today that should be stressful or anxiety causing. So have your shoulders down, and to make sure, because as we get stressful, they go, oh, God, times when mine are up like here. But not today. And take a second and put your hands straight down by your sides, and just make sure that your shoulders are down as much as you can do. You'll feel it's a lovely stretch feeling when you do that. So get those shoulders down for just a second and get that feeling of where they are when they're really down and not stress filled up, up, up. Now we're going to do 3 breaths. A lot of times in meditation sessions, the focus of the whole thing is on breathing. Okay. We've got some visualization to get to. So we limit ourselves, or I shouldn't say limit, we prepare ourselves with 3 breaths in the meditations that I do. You're going to be picturing all the air around you, absolutely pure and sparkling and wonderful. And you're going to breathe in that beautiful, sparkling, absolutely perfectly pure air, and breathe out any that has residue of negativity that was attached to you or sent to you or what have you, that we didn't already deal with when we blew that negativity to source. So your first breath in is going to be all of the breaths in are going to be absolutely beautiful, clear and pure and wonderful. And almost like that taste beyond imagination is what that air going is going to be like. The first one out is going to have a little bit of residue. It's going to be a little dingy. It goes away. Second breath in, same beautiful sparkling energy, and out should be almost perfectly clear. In fact, it probably will be clear. If you visualize it that way, that's what it will be. And by the third breath in and out, they're going to be the same. So at that point, you're totally aligned and accepting and open to pure, beautiful air and energy and just kind of at one with the universe as we go through this. So let's do those 3 breaths. Now, if you're comfortable doing that with your eyes open, you can close them. I never know which I'm going to do till I'm actually doing it. I'll probably close them. Okay. But whatever's comfortable for you. Okay. First breath in on count of 3. 1, 2, 3. In and out. And I close my eyes to visualize a little bit of dinginess leaving me and just going down the drain. Second breath should be almost the same in and out, if not the same. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and out. And ready for the third breath. It gets us in tune and open and receptive and filled with love and light. 1, 2, 3. In and out. Now it's time for our focused thought. Again, if I mention something as I lead this that does not resonate with you, does not align with your personal goals or beliefs, just sit it out. Okay. You don't have to contribute energy to it. Free will is honored. But let's talk about healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries are ways to protect our energy and to honor our personal needs for space, for time, for how we're treated, for how we get into or out of situations, how we handle relationships. Healthy boundaries are vital. In my personal experience, it was easier to do physical healthy boundaries than verbal ones. The verbal ones were the difficult ones for me, where I had to actually state a need or state a boundary. If you listened on my meditation yesterday, you'll see, for an example, one that I do. One of my personal boundaries, it is not my responsibility to convert anyone to believing tarot can be used positively and be a tool for light-filled purposes. I'm not going there. So when someone comes in and wants me to justify tarot or try to change their mind, I'm not going to. They are welcome to consider what I offer as far as facts and information, and then go their own way and come back when their programming has loosened up enough that they can accept that it might be a tool that could be used for positive purposes. But my job is not to change anybody's mind, so I don't do it. So I kindly and gently say, hey, what's the difference between me asking for a sign from the universe on the tarot cards and someone asking for a sign in their prayer practice? To me, I'm going to the same source. Now, not all tarot readers do, so you have to use your discernment. Absolutely. But if that's still not something that would kind of give them a perspective that they could at least consider, they're not ready for it, and it's not my job. And sometimes knowing what our job is a big part of healthy boundaries. For example, when we wake up and we realize we've been taught so many lies, we want to go to those we love and care for and show them the truth and teach them the truth. And we have had doors slammed in our faces, sometimes literal, sometimes emotional, sometimes just metaphorical. A healthy boundary is one sometimes you have to put on yourself. And that's realizing it's not your job, or it's not yet your job. If someone's not ready for something you consider to be truth, a healthy boundary is saying, I shared what I believe. If you ever want to talk about it or discuss it, you know where to find me. And then you back off. That is honoring where that other person is. It's honoring your energy and not wasting it. If someone belittles you for whatever your beliefs are, frequent one is calling us a conspiracy theorist. I smile. I say, I prefer the term truth seeker. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. If they were to continue, I would just say, I don't appreciate how this conversation is going, and I'll need to remove myself. I've got other things to do. So the verbal boundaries can be difficult. Another powerful one is saying, if someone proposes something, like an extended stay with you that you're not quite geared up for, or getting you to participate, you offer some of your time for a community project or a family event or something like that. It is absolutely okay, and it's good, healthy boundaries to say, I need a little time to think about this. I'll get back to you. It's absolutely good, healthy boundaries sometimes to phrase something as, I'm not comfortable, and then explain what you're not comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with talking about someone when they're not here. I'm not comfortable with how negative this conversation has gotten. Let's talk about something happier. Those are healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries can be as simple as programming your phone to be silent for certain hours of the night so you can rest. Healthy boundaries can be recognizing you need some alone time to recharge, and it's okay to build that into your schedule. Healthy boundaries can be realizing that it's more productive to have a compromise with someone. That teenager likes loud music in the car, let them get some earbuds. If they don't, have an agreement that 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off on a long drive. There's lots of ways to do healthy boundaries that honors your need for space, for time, for limiting the energy that you give to others. While we can be a conduit of universal love and light that has no limit, that has no ends, we as finite human beings do have ends to our energy and our reserves. And we, at this point in our existence, in these meat suits, we do need time to recharge. We do need time sometimes to consider new information. We need time to get our relationships in perspective with other people and have a good idea about them. I've got people in my life that I have to just be very aware that I have to put some brakes and limits on the time I offer, the energy I offer, and what I do. And I don't have any time to waste on feeling guilty about it. And I don't think any of us have time for guilt. So we need to honor some of our personal needs. We need to sometimes curb some of our personal hopes and desires. For example, I'm waking people up, and just simply hold those lights till they're ready. So let's close our eyes for a second and picture someone that we either currently have some good, healthy boundaries with that we can congratulate ourselves about, or someone or a situation that you need to consider ways to implement healthy boundaries. So close your eyes and visualize that situation or that person, that relationship. If it's one you've got some good healthy boundaries, you've kind of been on this process for a while yourself, pat yourself on the back. Well done. It is okay to have those boundaries up. Those aren't walls, those are boundaries. If it's someone or a situation that you need to, don't beat yourself up. Say, I need to implement some healthy boundaries with this situation or this person. I'm going to put that on the short list. Now, understand, you can put healthy boundaries in place, but if it requires an action on the part of someone else, there's no guarantee. The only guarantees are on you and your responses. So you can tell someone that you don't appreciate the way a conversation has gone, but you really can't control if they stop at that point or not. Pat yourself on the back that you stated a boundary. They continue to go beyond it, you remove yourself. Healthy boundaries, the only ones you control are yours. And just the fact that they don't get honored doesn't mean they're not a good, healthy boundary. There are some people you simply have to get to where you limit your time with them because they don't honor those boundaries, or they just unthinkingly overstep. Or if you're energetically sensitive, like many of you are, and I am, there are people I just realize without even realizing it, they are sucking the energy out of me. And I'm willing and loving enough that they can have some, but it's okay when I think I need time to recharge. This is enough. This is enough. Now, again, we work within the framework of free will in these meditations and in our lives. So let's take a second and picture someone who we know could use some healthy boundary skills. And let's just take a second to wish that they would begin that process of learning to what they are, what they look like, what they sound like, what they feel like. Those three things on boundaries. They're either going to look like something, feel like something, or sound like something. Now, they may not be ready. They may still be ready to be riding those waves of emotion and turmoil and negativity and overextending themselves, and we're going to honor that. But take a minute to think of someone who needs to have those skills, and let's wish those on them. That to the extent that their free will allows, they learn to employ some healthy boundaries themselves. Maybe it's just telling the boss no on overtime. Whatever it might be, let's take a second and picture that person. Or if you know someone who has recently started to use some personal boundaries, picture them and give them a pat on the back. I was amazed by someone recently that stood up in a work situation and advocated for themselves and their time and how they're treated very, very competently and professionally. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So send them a attaboy pat on the back. Okay, this is a complicated subject, and we're only touching on it very briefly here in this meditation. If I could give you any one direction towards something that wouldn't cost you a penny, if you're interested in learning more on the subject, one of the beautiful things I did was I did a browser search, and I'm not going to mention which browser. I actually used two of them, no, three, before I was done. And I Googled, and I didn't use Google, but I mean, that's a phrase. I searched for healthy boundaries. And then I went to images to look at visuals people had done. That's where I found some of the best bullet points and information on healthy boundaries. What it should look like, what it shouldn't look like, what it should sound like, what it shouldn't sound like. And so I'm not going to recommend that any of you read extensive books or anything. But if you'd like to explore the topic a little more, a great starting place for this and many other topics is simply to look at the topic and then look for visuals, images. That'll be one of the tabs, images, and see what has been created, because those will be the condensed versions, like I said, the bullet points, sometimes of what you're wanting to look at. It's a really great way to add to your knowledge and your toolbox quickly, very quickly. So that's it as far as I'm concerned for my portion of healthy boundaries. I'm going to start not looking at the camera as much and look over here, see if anybody has something that they want to add to the discussion or something that they would like others to contribute some focused energy to. Okay, and then in a few minutes, we're just a few minutes away from ending this month's meditation. And I send you love and light. And I thank you so much for your participation. I absolutely do. I hope all of you leave, number one, feeling like you participated in something that was very, very positive. Number two, that you helped make a change as far as raising the frequency and vibration of yourself, those around you, and even our plane of existence. And number three, just feel how very valued and loved you are. Okay. Emojis Mama B said, I've needed to remove myself from many. I miss the companionship, but get too drained if I maintain them. There's some people, sometimes it's family, you still have to spend some time around them. but it's okay to design your schedule in such a way that you don't end up totally exhausted at the end of those times with them. If people are what I call energy vampires, sometimes it's just where they're at. They're not intentionally doing it. They don't even realize they are, you know? And I have people that tell me, I feel so calm when I'm around you. That's great. I'm glad to share, but I'm not glad to be completely emptied out. Yeah, we all deserve healthy boundaries. Like I said, they're either going to look like something, sound like something, or feel like something, or some combination. I know the very first time I did a healthy boundary that to this day I'm still proud of, it was with a family member that had an alcohol problem. And I finally said, I can't have you in my life on a regular basis, especially now that I have children, unless, and then I put up the boundary, didn't shut the door. They had discussed getting treatment and claimed to get treatment and not be. I said, when your AA sponsor tells me you got your 30-day pin, we'll talk. You'll be welcome here. You'll be welcome around my children. And I thought that's not that hard to get. Well, it was for that person, but it was, to me, it was a healthy boundary because my children didn't need to be around someone who could be a Jekyll and Hyde, be ugly, cut them down, all the stuff that they do that they claim to never remember afterwards because it was a blackout. Didn't need that. Okay. Tess says, when folks do blow off steam, may they not take it out on someone who has a hard time themselves. Yeah, absolutely. And if they do, say, I don't need to accept this energy and I don't need to be here. Oh, Alex, I'm glad that the sound is better. Yeah, sometimes you have to go out and come back in. YouTube doesn't appreciate some of the content I put out there, and they don't always let things run smoothly for me. Okay. Lisa said, would love positive intentions to help me leave a toxic, abusive relationship next week. So, Lisa, absolutely. I'll be sending you some positive energy. Just do it one step at a time, sweet love. Okay. You got this. You do. And you're going to feel really good. Might not be comfortable because you're leaving something that you've been in to the point that it actually, you knew how to handle it, the toxicity, the abuse, you were surviving within it. When it's gone, it's uncomfortable because it's new. It doesn't mean it's unfamiliar. And another point to remember, now I speak from experience here, don't let the relief of lack of pain make you think it's happiness. So if someone else walks into your life and they don't contribute pain, don't mistake that for them giving you bliss and total happiness. Okay? So the absence of pain is beautiful, but that's still not quite to happiness. But hey, if I spend the rest of my days just with an absence of pain, I'm happy. I try to go through life with moderate expectations so I get pleasant surprises. Okay, now when I close out and stop the live stream, if you were contributing something or wanting to ask for some energy assistance with something, for prayer, intention, positive visualization on your behalf or a situation's behalf, please feel free to put that in the comments. I don't mean to cut you off, but I do try to keep these meditations as close to 30-minute limit as possible. I don't want people to have them go, it went on and on. On. So I will, again, this time, I am going to stop the live stream. I'm going to count down from 7, 9, no, 9. Tess tells me 9 is a very powerful number. Okay. So I'm going to count down from 9 and then end the live stream. If you're not done typing, I apologize. Like I said, you could convert it to a comment on the live stream where it'll be posted on my channel. Also, be aware if you are wanting to read and review the live stream chat, it does take a while to show up, but it will be there before the end of the day. Okay, the countdown for ending, and I send you love and light. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye, everyone.